Hey everyone, welcome back to a new video. So based on the title, I'm gonna clarify on who this applies to. So who must learn Norwegian? Well, if you're a tourist, if you are gonna be working here in Norway for a short period, like a summer season, 3 months, or if you're gonna be an exchange student for like a few years and you're gonna go back home after that, this does not apply to any of you, okay? So if you're one of these people, then you don't have to learn Norwegian. You can survive in Norway fine by just speaking English. In other words, if you don't planning on living in Norway for the long term or forever, you don't have to learn Norwegian. But however, if you planning on wanna move to Norway for like the long term or wanna have a dream to live here for the rest of your life, this definitely applies to you. This video is kind of like a sequel from my previous video about why immigrants in Norway struggle, and if you haven't seen it, check it out. I'll put a link in the description. Believe it or not, immigrants who move to Norway, who stay here for a long time and got a Norwegian citizenship, a lot of them actually go back to their own country or go back to other European countries, and for a lot of different reasons. And my guess is like they couldn't fit in, they couldn't find a job, and language is one of the main problem on why a lot of them are leaving. I have people contacting me once in a while and asking me advice, mostly regarding to finding a job in Norway or moving to Norway for the long term. My biggest advice to anybody who wants to move to Norway and live here for a long time or the rest of your life, you must learn Norwegian. And I've been saying this a lot in a lot of my past videos, and I think I'm probably gonna be saying that over and over again in the future as well. The type of question I get is usually something like, if I move to Norway and I don't speak Norwegian, but I speak fluent English, or I speak fluent Spanish, or I speak fluent Hindi, or I speak any other language that's not Norwegian, etc. I'm gonna answer that question once and for all, that it doesn't matter what language you speak. If you're gonna live in Norway and work here, all the other languages are kind of irrelevant, unless, of course, these type of jobs are related to if you're gonna be a translator, or there are certain companies that require certain people to speak certain languages, but these are like very few jobs, very few choices on the job market. Norwegian is the main language here, so that's gonna be your focus. So all the other languages you have to kind of put them aside and focus on learning Norwegian. A lot of immigrants in Norway who don't speak Norwegian or speak very poorly, they usually have a hard time here. Mostly it's related to the job market. Like if you can't speak good Norwegian, you're gonna have a very hard time finding a job. And what happens when you can't find a job? Well, they end up in a welfare system for a very long time. They stay unemployed for a very long time. Norway is one of those countries that have a very good reputation on the being a good country. You get paid maternity leave, you get paid if you're sick, you get 5 weeks paid vacation, your salary is good, and all the good stuff, and etc. All the good stuff about Norway is true, but if you're an immigrant in Norway and you don't speak the language and you can't find a job, you're not get that much benefit, because a lot of the good benefits, it's not given to you for free. You still have to work for it, and as an immigrant who can't speak the language very well, and a lot of immigrants will face discrimination based on their name, because a lot of Norwegian employers think, this and that person have a non-Norwegian name and can't speak the language. You will have to fight tooth and nail to get the same benefits as an ethnic Norwegian here. Now, another question I also get, like, hey, if I don't speak Norwegian at all, can I still find a job here? The answer is yes, you can, but the competition is a lot more intense, because a lot of people who don't speak Norwegian will compete for the same type of job. And a lot of Polish people, for example, they come to Norway for a short period of time. Usually it's like, they work in construction business, like they stay for like 6 months, go back home, then come back later for a couple months, work, go back home. It's very common, but Yes, it's possible to find a job without knowing the language, but again, it's very difficult and your choices are limited. Norway as a society doesn't judge you as an individual if you can't speak Norwegian. Like if you go to the grocery store, you go to a restaurant, you go to a shopping mall, you go to I don't know, Disneyland. Oh no, Norway don't have a Disneyland. But the point is, like, if you try to talk to people here about about anything, and you say, hey, I can't speak Norwegian, can we speak in English? I would say like 99% of the people will be happy to help you and they can speak English. And if you can't speak English, they will also try to help you with sign languages, and you won't get discriminated because you can't speak Norwegian. But when it comes to the job market, that's a whole other story. If you tell your potential future boss that you can't speak Norwegian and you apply for a job and say, I can't speak Norwegian, when the job description say, hey, the person who applied for this job must speak Norwegian and write Norwegian, then you're out, okay? And you will actually be discriminated on the job market if you can't speak Norwegian. And when I say that you must learn Norwegian, that is not a suggestion or an option. That's something you must do. Now, I'm not trying to scare anybody who wants to move here. That's not my goal here, okay? I'm trying to help people. Because if you want to move to Norway for the long term, you must learn the language. There's no other choice. You can't cut corner on this one. Because I've seen it happen, over and over again. It's like a bad cycle among immigrants. Immigrants who don't integrate, don't learn a language, they don't have a really good time here. I say this for your own good, not for anybody else, okay? Because learning the language is only gonna help yourself. You're not doing this for anybody else. And I also understand, moving from one country to another is a huge financial risk, because you have to sell your house, sell your car, quit your job in your country, and gather all your resources, maybe even bring your family with your wife and kids and husband, etc. It's a huge scary risk, and that's why I'm just trying to prepare people who actually want to take that risk. Like, if you learn the language, you have a much better chance of having a successful life here. That's pretty much it for this video. I'll put all the information in the description about job related questions, and you can look it up, and you can if you have any questions, just contact me on my Instagram or Facebook, and I'll be happy to help any way I can, of course. So anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.